Alright guys, welcome back to our tutorial. So we just finished the tutorial on local and global variables. Alright, so today we are going to be diving much more deeper into this. So now let's we've spoken about local and global variables in our last video. So in this video we're going to be talking more about functions. Actually, what exactly can you do with functions? Don't forget, in the last video we talked about making your functions, looking at your function as a black box. All right, so what more can we do with this function? All right, so now in this function, what we want to do today is to talk about the function arguments. All right, so let me just go ahead and delete this. Let me go ahead and delete this so we can just focus on just a single function and then try out a lot of stuff with it. Okay, so now we have a function called my name, xyz, and then we've been able to run this guy, and yes, we know that yes, this guy is working fine. Now there's something we call positional arguments. And functions. So now let me just explain what positional arguments is. A positional argument is basically anything you pass into, are basically things that you definitely have to pass into your function for your function to work fine. Now, for you to be able to use a function called my name, you need 45, you need 3 inputs, 45, let's say 45, 12 and 23, right? And when you run this, you have a result. Now the moment you make a mistake and you say you want to ignore just one of them, just pass into, and you tell Python to just figure out, when you run this guy, Python is going to say something, and it's saying my name is saying missing one required position argument z. Right now, what exactly is Python trying to tell us? Now Python is basically trying to tell us that for you to have actually run a function, and you've defined a function called my name, it requires 3 different inputs, x, y and z, right? So for you to actually make me give you a result, then you must provide at a minimum of 3 inputs. At least you must provide an input for x, an input for y and an input for z for me to be able to work fine. When we supply this now, we have our result, and we have f5 483. Okay, so when we check it out, it says 483. That means Python isn't angry with us, it understands it perfectly. So that is what position arguments is. Arguments that must be in the function for your function to run. What if I don't want, I just want to pass in, I just want z to be 23 by default, so that will introduce us to what we call default arguments. So in this case, we can say z is 23. We can define our function and say z is 23, and then when we go ahead to neglect this and we just pass in x and y, then we are still going to have our results. So let's go back and check. So it's still giving us 483. Now what am I basically trying to say? Z, x, y and z, they are all positional positional arguments, but now z is now a positional argument with a default. But in this case, it is more timed to be a default argument than you calling it a positional argument. Alright, so that's going to be it about position and default arguments. But before we go ahead and end this tutorial, I'm going to explain another one thing. Let's assume you just want to pass in, okay, what if we want to have a new function? Let's create a function that prints our name. That's my name. Okay, my name function, it takes in x, y, z. X is let's assume hex is my name. Okay, or let's just assume hex is whatever you pass in, and then y is the age. Let's just say age is by default 23, and then okay, yeah, age is by default 23, and let us have return welcome plus strx plus okay, welcome plus welcome you, comma, we know you are plus strage plus years old. Right, so let me just put up space here. Okay, so now, do you know the reason why I'm passing in str here? I'm passing str here so that irrespective of whatever you pass in here, actually we expect you to pass in a string, but in case you don't pass in a string, it's just gonna convert it to a string, and here your age is gonna actually be an integer actually, but we want it to just always convert whatever you have in here to be string so that we can be able to concatenate this easily. So let's just assume we have let's say my name is Fumi Lola, and then the age, let's just assume the age is not defined. So when we run this program, okay, it's telling me invalid syntax, so let me just go ahead and check what exactly is the problem. Okay, so invalid syntax, so it says welcome dash, okay, yeah, plus, there should be a plus here, welcome plus the string plus the string plus the string, okay, F5. So when we run this program now, it tells us welcome Fumilola, you know you're 23, we know you're 23 years old. Right, now what exactly is happening here? It says, you know, it puts Fumilola here, welcome Fumilola, we know you are, then by default age is 23, so it places 23 here, and then it displays welcome Fumilola, you're 23 years old. What if Fumilola is 45? Let's see what Python does. So it says welcome Fumilola, we know you are 45 years old. Alright, so I want to believe you guys have been able to learn a lot. So in my next video we're going to be talking more about more parameters, advanced parameters, passing advanced parameters into your functions. Alright, bye.